All right, happy Friday, everybody. It's time to get cooking right now with Nanny Bubby. Today, she is showing us how to make a delicious, spicy citrus skirt steak. That sounds so good, Nanny Bubby. Happy Friday to you. Are you cooking this on the sidewalk? You probably could.
On the grill, yeah, no kidding. Like I could cook it on, believe me, I'm cooking. I could probably cook it on my chest. I'm so hot out here. So say spicy citrus skirt steak 5 times and we'll all be in trouble, right?
I know it.
But let me just tell you a little something about the skirt steaks, since that's what we're using before we move on to more generic. So this is a skirt steak, and you can see how long it is, right? But the thing is that you're going to want to cut a skirt steak or a flank steak or even maybe a sirloin so that it can cook evenly on the grill, because the edges are very thin and the middle is very thick. And so that is, whoops, got to move this over, exactly what I've done here is you can see that I have it cut into pieces. So I went and got that, the second one, just for you guys to make that point. And the other thing I want to tell you, Alex, is you want to take your meat out of the refrigerator about 30 minutes before you grill it, so it comes up to room temperature. But bacteria grows at about 44 degrees above, which is refrigerator temperature, up to 165 when it's finished cooking. So what do? So you take it out, you let it come to room temperature, then you bring it out here, and I mean, it could grill itself just outside, right? And so what you do is you're going to put this on a bowl of ice so that it doesn't come up in temperature way too much. Just enough time for you to get it on the grill. And then the last thing I want to tell you is, since we don't have time to make the marinade, because we're going to talk more about grilling, is that these are the items that went into this marinade, and it is coconut amino, apple cider vinegar, blood orange olive oil, sriracha, ginger, and garlic. And that recipe can be found on nannybubby.com, Nanny Bubby Facebook, or Instagram, or Gather with Nanny Bubby. So this is the marinade. I'm just going to toss it like this. And this is what I do a little differently, is I'm going to put this marinade on afterwards so it can rest in it and absorb the juices. But right before I put it on, I just got it all over my sunglasses. Well, little coconut aminos and apple cider vinegar. Never hurt anybody. I'm just going to dip it, and then I'm going to take it and I'm going to throw it on the grill. So let's talk about a grill. Let's talk about the fact that you always want your grill to be clean, right? And the way to clean your grill is when you're done cooking before you actually get to this. So last night I was done cooking. I turned my grill on high while we were eating. I let it go up in temperature, and I let it just cook everything off to ash, right?
Yeah.
And then this morning when it was cool, I take a wire scraper and clean it. And now when I turned it on to heat up, now this is that end. Look at how thin that end is. Ooh. And so that's why you don't want it to be cooking with everything else. So I'm throwing this on. I'm throwing the last piece on really quickly. And I'm also, because of this recipe, which you can find online, these are oranges. I'm dipping them in the marinade, whoops, splashing it all over, and getting that on the grill. So the last thing that not the last thing, but the next thing that we want to talk about is a spray bottle. If you don't have a spray bottle, then what you need to do is put ice cubes on the grill where it starts flaming up. We've all had that ignited flame up. Stand back.
And that's water?
There you go. And that's just water, just cool water, but it's been out here for an hour, so it's now boiling water, but you know what I mean. Also, I failed to mention to coat it with olive oil before you actually put everything on, which I did do, and then use an instant thermometer to take it off. And so what you're going to do, the most important thing that I have to tell you is I'm going to take this marinade and I'm going to pour it into the pot that I took everything out of. And when I take the steaks off the grill, once I turn them, I'm going to put them back in this marinade, and it will take about 15 minutes for the juices to all settle, get back into the meat, and also for the marinade, which I do at the end of cooking when it's resting. And talking about resting cooking, Alex, if you're cooking medium rare steaks to 130 degrees, take them off the grill at 125 degrees, because when you put them in and put the top on to rest, they come up 5 degrees. Ooh. And the other tip I want to give you, yes, and so you can undercook everything about 5 degrees. The other thing is you don't want to, oh, here we've got a flame. You don't want to do something that I have always done, which is compressing the meat, which we all love for that flame to come up. But don't do that because you're taking the fat and draining it out. And that's it. That's all the tips for cooking and grilling that you need for a Friday afternoon. And it was a pleasure doing business with you, Alex. I look forward to seeing you yet again.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. You made that look so easy, Nanny Bubby. Thank you. And you can check more out on Nanny Bubby's Kitchen and Garden on social media and online at nannybubby.com. Thank you so much. That was a great show and tell. That's something hopefully we can replicate at home. Also want to say a big thank you to Chapman Automotive for sponsoring this segment.